Alright, well, I got this thing backed up under here. I tore all the sheet metal off that's red to repaint it. I took, as you can see, the gas tank off and all that. And to remove this head, you gotta undo this fitting on the passenger side that does this oil line here. You gotta undo your air hose or your intake hose, fuel lines, this blow-by tube, and then all of these for the head bolts or head studs or whatever you want to call them. Then on this side, you have to remove the injectors because they're in the way of your head bolts, and all the injector lines I just kind of flipped out of the way so I don't forget which way they go, and undo this line off of the fuel filter. And I believe you don't have to remove this at all, because this doesn't, I don't think this is connected at all. And here in a few we're going to drain coolant and try and pull this head off, see what we got. Well, got the coolant going, and just so you know, you need a bucket for this. There's no good way for it to drain. So once you figure out that's plugged up and you clean it out, it just starts puking everywhere down here, and you kind of just gotta watch it because there's no good way for it to drain. Alright, well, this is the best way I could do this. This is a pretty tight spot, but so what you need to do is you have to remove the valve cover. And after I showed you earlier how there's all those bolts on the outside, well, they've got some on the inside as well, as I expected. So under the valve cover, you'll need a 9/16 like spark plug socket, a long socket, because of the studs they have to hold the valve cover on. So you'll have to take all your rocker arms off and to get to those head bolts, since they're below the rocker arms, and you could get on it with a wrench, but you're going to take 10 times as long, and it's just a lot easier if you just pull them off. So we'll just go ahead and do that here, so access those better and we don't take all day just to do this job. So what we're doing is I bought a rebuild kit off eBay or something, and basically all this is, it's gonna reseal the combustion chamber. So it's new sleeves, new pistons, new rings, the whole nine for that stuff. Just so, because this had terrible blow-by, which I can put in here so you guys can see, and nobody else wanted to do it, so I got this for a pretty good deal because of that. So I'm gonna try and see what I can do about taking it apart and doing such thing, and see how bad it really is. Hopefully it's not that terrible. So what I'm doing, so I make sure I don't lose anything, I'm going to throw all of my hardware and rocker arms in the valve cover upside down back here, so that way I don't lose them or drop them anywhere. And then when you're doing this, you'll need a set of wrenches, because in the middle here they have an oil line to supply oil to the whole rocker arms, so you'll need to remove that so you can take it off. It looks like this one's already loose. I was pretty certain somebody had already been in here, so not a real surprise that this hardware looks like it's been tampered with already. I believe that's all, so now we can remove the rocker arm assembly. Just gotta give it a little wiggle here. And there you go. That's what that looks like. And there's that oil line I was telling you about. Set this down here. And these head bolts are 11/16 nuts, or head stud nuts, or whatever you want to call them. Break all these loose, and then I'll come back with my little impact and buzz them off. And then, so I figured while I'm doing it, for my sake and anyone else doing this, they can see how it's been done before. Because the kit was $500, and it comes with all your gaskets you're gonna need, and everything associated with tearing this down to reseal it. So it was pretty cheap. My biggest concern is how I'm going to pull the sleeves out, because I don't have any tools for that. So we'll see how creative we can get, or if we're just going to go ahead and buy the right stuff to do that. I'm sure it won't be the worst in the world to do. So now that that's all done and we've drained the coolant already, should be ready to pull this off. Just got to remove this upper hose, and I think that's all we've got left. So I guess we'll remove that hose and cut to pulling the head off. Well, cue the montage of me running around like a moron with a pry bar to get this head off. The studs and dowel pins that hold it in alignment are holding it up from me just picking it up by hand. So I'm just gonna work my way around prying on it until it pops over the dowel rods, or inevitably falls back down onto the dowel pins and everything, and restarts my progress, and I grab it and try and either pull the head off or get a hernia. I'm trying my best to stay off of the bottom of the head surface, but there's not a whole lot of room to get to anything on this. Really not any room to get on this back corner. All the lines and stuff I did not remove are now biting me. I think we are getting pretty close to having this removed. Yank on it. No, we still got a little bit to go. Yeah, sure enough, she is not on off of the dowel rods. Sorry. Oh boy. Well, I guess you guys have seen me prying on this enough. I'll cut to when I have it finally off. This is gonna be a fight. Alright, we're back. It's another day. We ran into issues. As you can see, we pulled the head off. We pulled the oil pan off. And we found that the top ring fell apart when I pulled it out. And we also found that the sleeve on this edge here was cracked. As you can see by the light there, I've already gone through with a screwdriver and broke the sleeve off so you can get it out. And I have some things to say before you attempt this as well. When we were trying to pull the oil pan, I learned that they had two different style front timing gear covers. Here's what the later style used to look like. I'll send a photo of what the new style is. But basically, your difference is there was 4 bolts for the top of that one instead of 2. In my manual, it only speaks of the early style, which only has 2. The later style has 4, and they go up in the bottom of the block up here, and then also on this ear, on right here, and over there. You can get to that one, but this one you cannot get to unless you split the tractor, or unless you leave every other bolt and then pull this spacer right here. This spacer goes right there and it hides that bolt. So if you do this, because we did this the wrong way, as you can tell from breaking it, you should go for those 4 bolts first. You don't have to pull all of these bolts, or I don't even know that you have to pull these 2 bolts, but you have to pull the middle 2 or it will not come off. And that was my issue. I had one of these bolts on this one, I believe. It was still on there, and I just pried on this oil pan until it gave up wind. So little tip there is, up here where it's all greasy, you're gonna have to go and get a little ratchet or something up there and fight it, or you will be searching for this. I've done some research, and everywhere online these are not available. You have to go to a salvage yard to do this. So this project might get postponed for a while, but on the bright side, the rod and everything is out. It looks pretty decent, and I'm just going to replace sleeve, piston, and rings on just this one because I think the other ones are perfectly fine. I don't know why there'd be any issue with them. Alright, so after further inspection, this piston broke the top ring, and as you can see right here, some of the piston is cracked, so, and missing. So this cylinder was definitely bad. This one, it had a little bit of a crack on the top ring. Probably wasn't an issue, but for sure this sleeve being cracked in this corner, this being broke, and then this top ring is shattered in 1,000 pieces. So this top ring is completely junk. I'm not going to put this back up there. As you saw, it just chucked some more of the top piston ring. So we'll just set it over here for now. So in conclusion, this is definitely in need of some rings and sleeves probably. I would to guess too that these sleeves have a lip. There's a decent, you can catch it with your fingernail, but if they could have broke when going up, I doubt it. I think it was definitely it broke while in the tractor. But all the bearings seem fine. Crank is fine. No real debris anywhere except for the carnage that ensued on everything. But this is the one with the sleeve pulled. This one I'm gonna re-sleeve for sure. The other ones, I'm going to see how hard it'd be to get these pulled out. More than likely, I'll do pistons, rings, and the sleeves since I have them. But this motor was definitely in need of a overhaul. Well, since I figured all the pistons are bad, I'll show you how I remove, or am removing these sleeves in here. So what I've been doing is just taking a hammer and a screwdriver and chipping away at this here outside ring. So I'll show you. So there's my screwdriver. Go up against that edge and I'm just tapping it with a hammer. See if I can't get it on camera. Sorry, kind of hard to do with the phone resting on the studs. See, I got a start. So let me pick it up. You can see there I am in between the cylinder and the sleeve. So I'll set you here. Try and get it to focus. So I'm prying towards the sleeve, or towards the block with the handle to push against the sleeve. Try and break that top ridge. It'll go soon. There we go. Boom. And it's broken. So now we're in it for serious, but that's the hardest part. So now what I do is I'm coming in here at an angle to try and get between the sleeve and the block again. Try and find a spot where you can already see it separated. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, I don't know that this is the right way to do it, but this is how I'm doing it. I've never done anything like this before, so kind of learning on the fly. There we go. And now we're between. So you see there, it went between the block and the sleeve. And if I can just rest this somewhere over here, and we'll just go back up on the studs. You'll watch as I hammer straight down on the screwdriver. This just starts chipping away. Let me get a better angle. Sorry, I'm doing this outside, so I cover it with a tarp. That way I don't get any moisture in it or whatnot. It's been pretty dry recently, so I'm not real worried about doing this outside. Phone's in the way. Ideally, you want to just held it there. I'm pretty sure that's why it went and chipped off again. So now you just hammer straight down, and then she starts peeling. Just like that. Pick it up here. And she's all the way down. Almost. Good enough. All this is for is so now you can come back through with your screwdriver set it here again, try and get a clear photo. Good enough. You guys get the picture. So we pry out on this while coming in with vice grips, screwdriver, needle nose, whatever you can get in there. And you pry on the edge of that sleeve until you can get in there with some vice grips or whatnot. Ideally without just snapping it. And pull the sleeve out. Might be difficult on this one just because I didn't get it all the way down. Yeah, I think it's just going to keep breaking. Yeah. Alright, we'll move to this nearby one so you can actually understand what I'm doing. There we go. Good enough. So you get in there, kind of pry on her like that. Come in with the vice grips. Get as much meat down as you can, otherwise this just breaks. And you pull up just like that. See, I got it. And there she is. No damage to the block, just a scratch, but no big deal. All broke out. Throw that to the side. That is now junk or a shelf trophy. Got a little nick on the side there, but this one over here, this one was already broke real bad, so I'm not real concerned about it, especially since all the rings and stuff were broke. I'm pretty certain that that was our major issue for the blow-by. So I'll go through here and pull all these, and then now we're on the uphill after everything's torn down. Now you start putting it back together.